Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Eunice Izon, but you can call me Joelle.
And I am Lois Linatoc, but you can call me Lois.
And we are the SCG Innovators.
You may wonder, why spend coffee grounds? Why activated carbon?
What's with SCG? How can this help the community? Coffee is one of the most widely consumed beverages worldwide.
Qatar specifically has been a popular destination for coffee lovers due to its rich history and facts about Arabic coffee that plays a pivotal role in Qatar hospitality. In fact, Qatar hosted an exhibition exploring the history of coffee from Indonesia to Qatar at the National Museum.
Aside from Arabic coffee, there's a wide variety and origin of coffee in Qatar commercial market.
Spent coffee grounds are the residues obtained after the brewing process. The huge amount of residues generated from the daily operations of different coffee shops in Qatar contribute to the huge amount of waste being managed across the country. Do you know that in Qatar, there's a very limited source of potable water, but there's a huge amount of wastewater?
What is wastewater? Wastewater is the term used for all the dirty water we generate in our daily lives. It comes from toilets, showers, kitchens, and other domestic and industrial sources.
Currently, this wastewater is already treated in Qatar and being used for agricultural irrigation. Landfill is the main method of solid waste management in Qatar. Although SCG is a very valuable organic waste, keeping large amount of SCGs along general waste may pose a high risk of spontaneous combustion, especially on hot areas like Middle East.
There's no official reference regarding the rules and regulations on the disposal of the SCGs.
We, the SCG innovators, have identified a serious problem on directly discarding spent coffee ground wastes in the environment that poses significant risk to both humans and the environment, since it requires high oxygen demand for its natural degradation. Further, SCG, when broken down in landfill sites, release millions of toxic emissions like methane, which is a harmful greenhouse gas.
As we mentioned earlier, there's a limited source of potable water but an abundance in wastewater. If this wastewater is treated, it can be used for many purposes such as irrigation of landscape and agricultural lands.
And here's our solution. Convert SCG into an activated carbon. But the question is, what is activated carbon? Does SCG really have the properties required to make an activated carbon?
Oh, SCG has approximately 40 to 50% carbon.
In this study, water purification capability of spent coffee grounds has been investigated using different amounts of SCG-AC. The SCG-AC produced was utilized for purification of wastewater at the downstream process.
Other chemical parameters such as the salt oxygen, chloride content are subject to the availability of the resources for testing like specialized meter.
If the amount of activated carbon used for testing is increased,
then the purification capability will be more effective.
We visited different classrooms and asked for support to collect spent coffee grounds. We also visited a few coffee shops in Qatar to collect their SCG wastes.
The collected SCG was pre-dried using an oven at 110 degrees Celsius for 2 hours to remove the water content. We then heated the SCG for 3 to 4 hours at a constant high temperature of at least 500 degrees Celsius. We need to maintain this temperature in order to evaporate all the volatile compounds, so the elements that will be left is nothing but carbon or the SCG charcoal.
This heating process can be done outdoor, ensuring the setup is well secured with the wind barrier to contain the heat in the pot, or if indoor, this must be done under the fume hood. During the heating process, the removal of water and other volatile compounds like methane gas will be observed through the thick smoke and random fire on the side of the pot lid.
We need to make sure that there is very little or no oxygen or air during the heating process. Otherwise, the presence of air may lead to combustion of the SCG resulting into ash. When there is no more smoke coming out of the pot, this indicates the completion of the charcoal making process.
Let the pot cool down for 2 hours before removing the lid cover and weigh the charred SCG or the SCG charcoal.
Now we're ready for the activation process.
There are many ways to make an activated carbon. For experiment, we used a non-toxic dehydrating agent called calcium chloride to activate our charred SCG. It is important that we use a correct proportion of the calcium chloride solution with the amount of charred SCG to maintain the paste consistency and ensure that charred SCG will be wet enough for reaction.
Therefore, we used 1:3:2 ratio. Let the mixture react for 24 hours.
After 24-hour reaction, it's time for washing the mixture with a maximum 1 liter only of water to remove the calcium chloride and drain carefully to maximize the conduction of SCG activated carbon.
Oven dry the SCG activated carbon for another 2 hours at 110 degrees Celsius to remove the water content.
Now, our SCG AC is ready for action.
To test the purification capability of the SCG-AC, we subjected it first to the standard testing procedure by using a dyed water filtered with 10 grams of SCG-AC. If the purified water becomes clear or lightens, then your activation is successful.
After the standard testing procedure, we proceeded with experimental setups and controlled setup of the wastewater purification using SCG-AC.
We secured the tip of the pipe with a filter paper to prevent any SCG-AC or solids to pass through and collect the filtered wastewater into the container.
We did layers of fine gravel at the top and bottom of a 3/4 inch pipe, while the SCG-AC has been securely contained in the middle layer to prevent flow while the liquid was passing through the filtering setup. For each setup, we filtered a fixed amount of 50 ml wastewater with pH level of 6.35.
And these are the results that we obtained after 3 trials for each setup.
We also tested the turbidity of the filtered wastewater using SCG-AC, and these are the results. After conducting the experiment, we concluded that our product was effective when higher amount was used in the purification setup by reducing the turbidity to clear and almost colorless solution.
Allow us to show you how the actual wastewater treatment is done using the standard process.
The SCG-AC was inserted in the cylinder, which will serve as the purification system for this improvised setup. As we can see, the wastewater has become clear. This amazing study deserves to be communicated with our fellow students and teachers. We did a campaign in the intermediate level classes to promote awareness of the benefits of SCG and how such waste can be utilized and converted into a new product for other significant purpose both in small-scale and large-scale environment. Activated carbon has many other uses aside from wastewater treatment, which can then be further studied.
We made this video available in our YouTube channel, hoping to reach the national level, specifically the state authorities, and consider looking into the possibility of setting regulations on the SCG disposal by referring to our study as the baseline for laying down environmental programs as part of the sustainability solutions aligned with the Qatar National Vision 2030.